Holy mackerel. If you want a better example of why you should not be looking at what big brands are doing right now, this is it. So I'm talking about HBO Max, or Max, which is now HBO Max. I'm releasing this video maybe like 2 or 3 hours after they announced the release of that, the release, the change of this thing. So, okay, in case you don't know, let's go way, 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 way back to cable TV. There were two channels. There was HBO and there was Cinemax, and they're both owned by the same people, Warner Brothers. So Warner Brothers obviously one has owned so much media, but when they went online to do streaming, there was a whole bunch of versions of HBO, HBO Go and HBO whatever, and then they went to HBO Max, which kind of makes sense, sort of, but it doesn't. It was the wrong move to begin with, and I will tell you that I think this is still the wrong move. However, it was HBO Max because you were getting the content of HBO and Max, HBO Max. It also kind of makes sense like HBO Max. It's a maximum HBO, whatever it is. It sort of makes sense. And they're going back to that now, which is just bonkers that they thought going to Max altogether made any sense because Max is not a generic name of somebody. Hey, Max. Um, I don't know where to start with this because it's so new and it's so raw and it's so ridiculous. But I'm going to start with the fact of what is HBO. And I always talk about this. Your brand identity should be guiding everything. Everything you do when you're not tapped into your identity of who you really are and you get away from that, all sorts of bad decisions start happening. And this is a great example of that. And big brands, by the way, are terrible at this because they don't really think about brand identity to the extent that you think that they do. So HBO is known for really great original content. I first discovered HBO's amazing Band of Brothers, one of my favorite miniseries of all. It's one of the best miniseries of all time. The Sopranos, The What, all of those great original series. That's what HBO is known for. And leaning out of that name and all of that latent associations to what HBO represents in terms of content quality, movie quality, cinematic quality was it's just ridiculous. It's like, what are you doing? It's like, duh. But you have to look at the wider picture of what's going on and how they're doing this and how they're thinking. So first off, what happened is that Warner Brothers has all sorts of content. I think like what the Discover Channel is underneath Warner Brothers, whatever it is. Let's say it's that. No one was watching any of that stuff on Max. They were just watching all the great HBO stuff, which to me is so silly. This whole thing was so silly to begin with, and they're still making the wrong decision going to HBO Max and not just zooming out and going House of Brands, right? House of Brands would mean that you go with, I don't know, like, like Warner Brothers Plus, like Disney Plus, and underneath Warner Brothers Plus, you can have HBO Plus, you can have Max, Cinemax Plus, you can have Discovery Channel Plus. And those are not the real names you should actually use, but you get what I'm saying. You could buy a bundle. Okay, watch where I'm going with this in a second. You could buy a bundle of all the various Warner Brothers material. You could just buy specific things, right? I don't want the Discovery Channel. I just want HBO, or I just want whatever it is. And you can just pick and choose. Why does that actually work? Oh, it's so good. And it's so stupid that they're not doing this. The current pain point in the market right now, and if you're a sports fan, you really know this, is that there are a million different platforms, and now I have to buy all of these things. Like, I'll give you an example. I just canceled Apple Plus, or not Apple Plus. Can't get the names right. I just canceled Apple TV. I canceled Apple TV because I was done with the series. There was nothing coming out. Like, why am I? I'm just paying for it. Not like why? I know it's only like what is it, like $10 a month, whatever it is. I don't even know what it is. But why am I even paying? I'm not even using it. If I want something again, I'll just buy it again. And after months of just not using it, I finally canceled it. And you all know what I'm talking about. It's ridiculous. So now I currently have Netflix and I have Disney. Do I have another one? I might have another one. I don't even know. And that's sort of the problem. Where it used to be that I could just turn on the TV and all the channels were there. That's kind of what I want now. Now I have to, and that's what streaming was supposed to be. That's what Netflix was supposed to be. But now there's just it's all over the place. Like, for example, I want to watch a Yankees game. I'm a Yankees fan. I live out of market, so I could just buy the baseball package. But if I lived in New York, I would have to buy the Yes Networks app or the Gotham app. I'd have to buy Amazon. I'd have to buy Apple. And I'd have to buy another one, Roku. I have to buy if I wanted to watch every single game. How crazy is that? If I want to watch the NFL, it's the same thing. So, but it's the same thing on the movie side or the streaming, movie content, Hollywood content, whatever you want to call it. It's insane that they're not doing that because if they put it on a house of brands and they gave you choice, isn't it exactly what you're looking for? You currently feel like, oh, I have to buy all those things, even though I want all of this. If they bundled all of their stuff under a parent brand and then let you pick and choose, wouldn't that kind of speak right to the pain point that we're all feeling, even though it wouldn't actually necessarily solve it? What makes this worse is just how deaf and dissonant their marketing was until now. How would they market this platform? Forget the name aside for a minute, okay? Which is the point of this, or the original point of this video, but I got off on a little tangent here. They market this as the one to watch, right? HBO Max or previously HBO Max is called the one to watch. Tell me you don't understand the market and my actual needs while pretending that you know my actual needs, while telling me you don't know the market and my actual needs by pretending to know my actual needs. I lost my train of thought with that one. They know the general pain point I just told you that everyone's like all over. So they're telling you, we're the one you should pick. Don't pick Netflix. If you're looking for one, pick this one. But that's not the real problem. The problem is that I can't rely on just one. Dummies. I can't rely on just one. Do you have the content that's on Netflix? If I want to watch Star Wars, can I use your platform? No, I have to go buy Disney. So what are you? You're the one I should pick. No, you're not. Everyone knows that you're not. You think I'm stupid? And that's where big brands get egotistical and they have a certain hubris. Oh, we're the one to watch. You don't need anybody else, and we're going to solve all your problems. No, you're not. I know you're not. So what are you trying to fool me? We're the one to watch. If, however, they went with the House of Brands thing, right? So everything's under the Warner Brother Plus label, and then you can buy the different. So it's the one to watch because it's the only one where you can pick and choose all the different. Does Disney let you do that? No. And none of them let you do that. All of their sub brands you can't do that with. But if they decided to do that, where I don't want Max, I just want the HBO, or I just want this, then you could be the one to watch. It still wouldn't be great, but it wouldn't be as horrible of a message and showing me that you really don't understand my pain point at all. Now, they're saying that, listen, we're not losing any subscribers. We're on pace to gain more and more and more subscribers. I will tell you that might be the actual case, but that's not the full story, and it never is. Because when you screw up your brand and you lack that identity, and first off, you see they're going back to trying to get that identity. They're not doing this for no reason, okay? They're not doing this like, oh, we don't see any monetary gain in this. This is just what our people want. Okay, yeah, that's how big brands operate all the time. All the big brands I've worked for, that's how they always operate. Just what the user wants and not what's good for the stock price, bottom line, yada, yada, yada. If you look a little bit deeper, and this is where I always talk about this, brand impacts performance. If I'm going to a platform and I see things I don't want that are irrelevant to me, that's going to decay my brand over time and is going to decay my performance over time. And that's exactly why they're pivoting. And don't let them tell you otherwise, because it's just a lie. It's a straight up lie. It's not how these companies operate. I've never seen one that does, and I will never see one that will. If you look a little bit deeper into what's happening, first off, you can see that their branded traffic is down over time. So meaning when people are searching for keywords related to their content or related to their brand name, it's down over time. By the way, you could just see how confused people are if you go to the people also ask feature on Google. So what questions people are asking Google about HBO and Max, people have been confused forever. This question like, what is the difference between HBO Max and Max? Why is Max no longer HBO Max? There's endless amounts of questions. Does HBO exist anymore? When they went to just Max, people were asking if HBO exists anymore. HBO, the one who's like the gold standard of original content, people are asking if they still exist. And you don't think that has an impact on their bottom line? So according to SEMrush, if you look at the market, and you can see the bunch of these people are in trouble. Max is the biggest one. Max, from a digital perspective, went from being the leader in the space to being, quote unquote, an established player. And this is basically plotting total traffic according to digital traffic growth. Look how much they've lost. Like Peacock lost a little bit, Prime lost a little bit, Hulu's up, Max off the radar. Not off the radar; they're still considered an established player. Everyone knows who they are, but it's off the radar relative to what they used to be. And you'll say, okay, let's look at their traffic numbers. Now, that might be a good proxy. Their direct traffic, which I always call brand traffic, is up. But Morty, that is so weird. I thought you said searches around there and their branded traffic is down. Yes, SEMrush does show their branded traffic is down. Do you know why their direct traffic is up? Because they're paying for it. If you look at the chart, right around the same time, whoop, paid social also goes up and display ads goes up. Look at that. Look at they're buying the traffic. So yes, they might be getting more subscribers. Yes, they might not have lost anything. And this is just, we're giving back, but they're doing it because it's probably it's not, I'm showing you the data. It's costing them more to get those signups, to get those customers because of the erosion of the brand over time. So they're not doing this because our users recognize that HBO is, they're doing it because it's costing them more money to get more signups. So each signup is less cost effective. And if you ever want to know how brand impacts performance, which I have been screaming about for God knows how long, it's literally why I call this Unify, because brand should be unified with your performance marketing strategies. It's this case, maxed out. Boop.